So I started riding my bike almost every single day of the week because the weather has just been fantastic, right? Um, it's like 23 degrees, bright and sunny with cool winds. And I realized something. I realized that moving is the key to life. I realized that if you are stagnant, if you stay in your house for too long and you don't do anything, you're on your computer or you're on your phone or you just sit on your ass all day in the house, you not only physically do you start having health problems, but mentally you also start deteriorating as well. I noticed that like it was hard for me to focus. It was hard for me to remember things, to understand things that my parents were telling me, or to understand what I watched on television. It's like you just forget everything. And I realized that the reason it's like that is because you're just constantly freaking stimulated when you're in your house. You have video games, you have TV, you have phones, you could have family members that you talk to and stuff. But it's always the same. It tends to be always the same pattern every single day, the same thing, repetitive thing every single day. If you stay in your house too long, you just don't grow. You don't really think optimistically. You just start feeling, a little bit. For some reason, you just start getting mood swings. You start feeling strange, and I realize that the key is to move. The moment you step outside of that door, the moment you go outside, doesn't matter how terrible the weather is. It could be a freaking terrible thunderstorm. It could be a terrible hailstorm. The moment you step outside of a place of comfort and you are exposed to certain elements or certain things that could happen to you, it could be danger, it could be whatever. It makes you start changing. You start becoming more open minded. You become happy. You become happier. And I wouldn't make this video if I was sitting in my house right now, right? I wouldn't feel the motivation or the desire to make this video. And not only is going outside important, also exercising too. When you go outside, you have to physically take yourself outside. You have to go for a walk. You have to, even if you're in a car and you're driving, that's still better than sitting in a house. It's way better than that. At least you're moving, right? The key that I want to talk about in this video is movement, right? Doing something, getting the body to move, moving, going somewhere new, physically taking yourself somewhere else. It has tremendous mental benefits, not only physical but also mental too, right? When you Even when you're driving, you gotta like move your arms, you know to move the steering wheel. You gotta change the gears and stuff if you drive a manual car or something. You're still, in a way, you're getting a little bit of exercise. And not only that, your brain is being worked when you're driving. You're constantly aware of your surroundings. You become a defensive driver. You see how far the car is in front of you. You look at your rear view mirror. You see the car behind you. You start seeing the buildings that you're driving past. So your brain is on mode. It's on in a form of an alertness. And not only that, there is a bit of a form of danger when you step outside, go in a car, when you go for a walk, when you go for a bike ride. There is always a sense, there is some form of danger. Something could happen to you. But guess what? That's what your body needs. That's what your body desires. Your body needs some form of danger in order to keep your life a little more exciting and for you to progress in life, right? Life shouldn't always be about, you just sitting at home on your ass and living a very comfortable and boring lifestyle. I mean, for some people, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But you're not progressing in life. You're not moving forward if you're constantly in a comfort zone. If you're constantly in an enclosed space. If you're constantly in an enclosed space, your mind's gonna start going. You won't realize it until later on. It won't happen right away, but over a period of time, your mind's gonna start to change. People are gonna also start noticing your behavioral patterns, right? That you're gonna notice these changes, and it's going to affect you long term. You're not gonna, it has been proven that if you move, you go outside in nature, it's been proven to even reduce the chances of you getting cancer if you go into a forest, right? There's certain toxins and stuff that are in trees that actually, reduce the cancer cells in your body. When you go out for a walk, your heart rate's going up. Your metabolism is going up, right? When you're getting exposing yourself to just a little bit of the sun every single day, you're getting the necessary vitamins D that you need to be happy, to be healthy, to make your skin healthy, to glow, right? There's so many benefits to being outside compared to being inside that I think a lot of people know that this is true, but they don't apply it because as I said, we're so comfortable, you know. You may have parents, you know, in your life that are just constantly sitting on the TV, and it's a very bad habit of just sitting down and watching dramas and television, and it's only getting worse. There are more and more shows coming out on a daily basis in order to keep you glued to the screen, in order to keep you sit at home, right? You need to understand the concept behind that. You need to be able to realize that this is all designed to brainwash you. It's all designed to keep you stagnant. It's designed to keep you in a way where you don't progress in life, that you don't, question things, that you don't, try to exercise and get healthy. Society wants you to be unhealthy, right? So you can pay for bills, medication, so you can go see the doctor. But I guess what, I guarantee you that if you keep moving on an everyday basis, whether you want to do gardening, step outside, make it a habit of doing it at least 5, 10, 15 minutes of a walk every single day. Just do it every day. Get the hell outside every single day, and I promise you, your life expectancy will increase. You will reduce stress. You will have so many tremendous health benefits. But a lot of people, they don't do it, as I said, and it's very sad to see. You know, even for me, I was just thinking like, yo, today, man, I was so close to not going outside because I was just so comfortable at home. I had my TV, I had my Netflix, I had my games, I had, I had everything, my food in the kitchen. Everything is available for me, which is a blessing. I'm very grateful for that. But at the same time, you know, if you make it a habit of doing this every single day, you're not going to grow. You're not going to get better. You're not going to be able to question things. You're not going to be able to self reflect, right? Movement. Movement. You got to move the body, man. You got to move the body. And, moving the body, you can still move your body when you're inside the house. If, by going up and down the stairs, by doing some push ups, by doing some sit ups, that's great. But there are better effects if you do it outside. Do those push ups out in the backyard. Do those jumping jacks in front of your neighbors. Who cares if they're going to judge you? Who gives a shit? Go for that walk outside, for just around the block. Just around the block. You don't need to go do something tremendous like a marathon. Go for just a walk around the block, and I promise it'll make a change. It'll make a difference in your overall mental health. You know, movement, man. We gotta move. All of us have to move on a daily basis. It's so important that we gotta move, because if you stop moving too, you're gonna start becoming tight. I noticed too that my hips start getting tight when I sit down for too long. You know, and I started getting inflammation in my hips. I started getting inflammation in my shoulders. I started getting all these types of problems, these chronic issues that I know will get worse if I continue to do that. If I continue to sit, if I continue to not move. I know this is going to happen. It's going to get worse. But to counteract that is to do what God gave you, that body. Your body is meant to be used. Your limbs, your arms and legs are meant to be used. You have a heart for a reason. You have lungs for a reason. You have a brain for a reason. You have eyes for a reason. It's all meant to be used. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. It's as simple as that. And yep, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to go continue riding my bike. See ya.